Today we're diving deep into one of the most enigmatic and debated topics of our time, the connection between the red heifer and the possible reconstruction of the Third Temple in Jerusalem. Are we witnessing the fulfillment of ancient biblical prophecies, or is it all just speculation? The red heifer is mentioned in the scriptures as an essential element for ritual purification, and its appearance has sparked great anticipation among scholars, religious leaders, and prophecy enthusiasts. But what exactly does the Bible say about it? What is its significance in today's prophetic landscape? In this video, we will explore these questions in detail, analyzing sacred texts, ongoing preparations, and how this event may be connected to the long-awaited Third Temple. Get ready for a fascinating journey through the mysteries of faith, history, and prophecy. But before we continue, I want to know, where are you watching this video from? Comment below. We want to spread God's word to more people around the world. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video so more people can wake up to the truth. The biblical truth about the sacrifice of the red heifer. The connection between the red heifer and the Temple of Jerusalem is a subject of great significance within the scriptures. The Bible describes various ways in which a person could become impure, one of them being contact with a dead body or a grave. This detail becomes even more relevant when considering that there is a large Jewish cemetery near Jerusalem. In the biblical context, anyone deemed impure could not participate in the services of the tabernacle or the temple, nor could they approach the presence of God. To address this impurity, God instructed Moses and Aaron, as recorded in the book of Numbers, regarding the purification process, which included the sacrifice of a red heifer. The biblical passage states, "The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, 'This is the statute of the law that the Lord has commanded. Tell the Israelites to bring you a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under a yoke. Give it to Eleazar the priest. It is to be taken outside the camp and slaughtered in his presence. Then Eleazar the priest is to take some of its blood on his finger and sprinkle it 7 times toward the front of the tent of meeting. While he watches, the heifer is to be burned, its hide, flesh, blood, and intestines. The priest is to take some cedar wood, hyssop, and scarlet wool and throw them onto the burning heifer. Then a man who is ceremonially clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and place them in a ceremonially clean place outside the camp. They shall be kept by the Israelite community for use in the water of purification. It is for purification from sin. This is a lasting ordinance both for the Israelites and for the foreigners residing among them." Thus in Numbers 19, 1, 2, or 10. The text makes it clear that the heifer was to be sacrificed and burned, and its ashes mixed with water to create what was known as the purifying water. This water was essential for cleansing those who had become impure, ensuring they could once again participate in Israel's religious life. A significant detail in this commandment is the emphasis that this rite was to be followed as a perpetual statute, meaning it was valid for all generations of Israel and even for foreigners living among them. This demonstrates that the practice was not merely a relic of the distant past, but carries implications for both the present and the future. Because of this, the study of the red heifer is not just a historical matter, but also connects to possible developments in today's prophetic landscape. The meaning of this prescription continues to inspire reflections on its relevance in modern times and the role it may play in future events. The location of the sacrifice and its importance. Unlike regular sacrifices, which took place inside the tabernacle or the Temple of Jerusalem, the red heifer's sacrifice was an exception. The biblical ordinance required that it be performed outside the camp or city. This detail is essential in understanding its exact location. The Mount of Olives is identified as the site of this sacrifice since it was outside the city limits during the time of both the first and second temples. The priests would perform the red heifer sacrifice on this mount, from where they had a direct line of sight to the entrance of the Temple of Jerusalem. This alignment was crucial to ensuring the ritual was conducted correctly. Additionally, the exact location of the sacrifice is reinforced by the presence of a site on the Mount of Olives, known as Dominus Flevit, which means, "The Lord wept." It was here that Jesus wept upon seeing Jerusalem and foreseeing its destruction, as recorded in the Gospel of Luke 19:41-44. This fact raises an interesting reflection on the connection between the red heifer's sacrifice and the redemptive work of Christ. The prophetic significance of the red heifer. A significant detail in this commandment is the emphasis that this ritual was to be observed as a perpetual statute, meaning it was valid for all generations of Israel and even for the foreigners living among them. This shows that the practice was not merely an ancient tradition, but carries implications for both the present and the future. Moreover, there is an intense theological debate regarding the possible reinstatement of the red heifer sacrifice. Some groups advocate for the necessity of this ritual based on biblical prescriptions, while others argue that with the coming of Jesus, such sacrifices have become unnecessary. This topic continues to spark deep discussions and raises questions about the fulfillment of prophecies and future events in Israel. For this reason, the study of the red heifer is not limited to a historical event, but is also linked to possible developments in today's prophetic and religious landscape. The significance of this prescription continues to generate reflections on its relevance in modern times and its potential role in future events. In the Book of Numbers, it is recorded that the priest would sprinkle the heifer's blood 7 times toward the entrance of the temple. This practice, as described in the Bible and historical sources, suggests that this area was used not only for the red heifer sacrifice, but also for the preparation of the ashes and the purification water used to cleanse the people, the priests, the temple, and its utensils. However, the last time this ritual took place was over 2,000 years ago, and it has been prevented since then due to a series of factors. The final elements needed for the sacrifice. After this long period, for the first time, the necessary elements for performing this sacrifice appear to be aligning once again. But what are the essential requirements for this event to take place? First, the animal must meet strict criteria. It cannot be just any heifer, but must be a completely red one. This shade does not refer to an intense red, like that of a bright fabric, but rather to a natural reddish-brown tone. Additionally, the animal must be perfect, without blemishes, wounds, scars, or deformities. It must be a female, meaning a cow and not a bull, and it must never have been used for any type of work or burden. Another fundamental requirement is age. The heifer must be at least 3 years old. For centuries, attempts to find a heifer meeting all these requirements were unsuccessful. However, this situation changed when specialists from the Temple Institute in Jerusalem traveled to Texas, USA, where they found a Christian rancher who managed to breed not just 1 but 5 perfect red heifers. On September 15, 2022, these animals were transported to Israel, and their arrival was officially documented. From 2022 to 2025, the heifers reached the minimum required age for sacrifice. Initially, there were 5, but 2 were disqualified, leaving 3 animals still eligible for the ritual. This number may seem small, but it is highly significant, as throughout all of Israel's history, only 9 red heifers have ever been sacrificed. The first one was during the time of Moses and Aaron, and the last one before the destruction of the Second Temple. Now, these 3 heifers represent a key piece in the reconstruction of the Third Temple. For the temple to be rebuilt and inaugurated, it must be purified. This means that the priests, the temple, and its utensils must be ritually cleansed. Many of these utensils have already been reconstructed, but they cannot be used while they remain impure. The only way to purify them is through the water prepared with the ashes of the red heifer. With the heifers ready and qualified, the next challenge is to find priests who can perform the ritual. For this, a priest who is already pure is required, which presents a major challenge because, according to biblical tradition, practically all of humanity today is considered impure. This is due to impurity from the dead, which affects not only those who have been in cemeteries or funerals, but also anyone born in a hospital, as these places frequently come into contact with death. Thus, a priest must be a descendant of Aaron, from the tribe of Levi, who has never been near a dead body, has never entered a cemetery, and was not born in a hospital. In recent years, the Temple Institute has identified 2 individuals who meet these criteria. However, their identities remain confidential for now. Beyond the heifers and the priests, There is also the matter of the location of the sacrifice. The historically associated area currently belongs to the Vatican, which does not permit the sacrifice to be performed there. However, an adjacent plot of land was acquired by an organization connected to the construction of the Third Temple, known as Nusim. The site remains empty but is already under the organization's ownership. All these items are easily obtainable. At this moment, there are no remaining technical obstacles to performing the red heifer sacrifice. However, despite the absence of concrete barriers, no official date has been set for the sacrifice. This information is crucial to ensuring that only facts are presented and that no speculation is made about the event. The truth about the sacrifice of the red heifer. But why is this topic being discussed here and now? The Mount of Olives was chosen to recount the history of the heifers based on facts, without speculation or false information. In recent years, various theories have emerged on the internet, including inaccurate predictions about the date of the sacrifice. In 2024, rumors circulated that the sacrifice would take place during the Jewish Passover, but the date passed without any event occurring. Now, with Passover 2025 approaching, there is still no official date set. Another widely spread misconception involves an altar located near Jericho. Some images of this altar have circulated online, but it has no connection to the sacrifice of the red heifer. This altar, known as Misber Haolah, is a replica of the altar of burnt offerings that once stood in the courtyard of the temple in Jerusalem. Built in 2009, long before the discovery of the heifers in Texas, it has been used only for practice and will not be used for the red heifer sacrifice. The actual altar for this ritual must follow biblical instructions. It must be made of wood and burned along with the sacrifice. No such altar has been built in Israel in the last 2,000 years. Currently, on the land acquired for the sacrifice, no altar has been erected. Even with all the necessary elements available, performing the red heifer sacrifice does not mean that the Third Temple will be immediately built. The heifer is an essential component for purification, but there are additional challenges to rebuilding the temple, the main one being its location. The Third Temple must be built on the same site where the First and Second Temples once stood, but this land is currently occupied by the Dome of the Rock, one of Islam's holiest sites. Therefore, even though the red heifer sacrifice is closer to being performed than at any other time in the last 2,000 years, this does not guarantee that the Third Temple will be rebuilt immediately. The heifer is a crucial step, but many issues still need to be resolved before this prophecy can be fulfilled. Do you like this topic? Leave a comment with your thoughts or suggestions for the next video. Like and share with someone who needs to hear this. If you want to dive even deeper into this topic, I've prepared an ebook with a complete study, which you can find in the video description and in the first comment. Don't miss it. May God bless you, and see you in the next video.